there, it's Beautay Junkay. Welcome to my channel. Today I am doing a very brightly colored summery makeup look. I'm going to be using some different products that I haven't used in a while. A couple of sample Vision blushes from Danessa Myricks. Vision Flush is what they're called. They're for lips, cheeks, and eyes. I'm going to be using these today, but mostly the wild summery colors that are going to be on my eyes is from the Clionadah Cosmetics Dragon Fruit palette. I did a whole video on this with a couple looks, and I wanted to do a couple more using these really bright green colors because I think it would be a fun look to put together. I plan on using some Typology products. These are complexion. I have the Tinted Serum and Tinted Concealer, I believe this is called. These are both Shade 1. If you haven't heard of Typology, they're a French clean beauty brand. These are really lightweight, easygoing complexion products, so I'm going to be using those and a couple other things from other brands. Let's get into it. It's really hot today. You see the sun coming in. I just got home from the office and I wanted to quickly do a video in natural lighting. So it's a really hot part of the day. And I have my Baja Blast from last night next to me. I have the AC going, so you'll hear a humming sound, but it is like 85 degrees in my apartment Fahrenheit. So I'm dying. So speaking of summer, there is a lot of changes that happened for me today. I went to work without any complexion makeup on. I didn't hate it. I put my skincare, my sunscreen on. I put a primer on even because I thought, well, maybe I'll put something on my face. I didn't end up doing that. I just ended up putting eyeshadow and mascara. I just removed the eyeshadow to do this makeup, so I have a little bit of mascara left on, and I have some eyebrows on, but otherwise nothing on my face. I was wearing a mask a lot today, so I didn't want to do too much makeup in the heat. I just thought it would be a disaster. That is what's happening today. But I want to do a light makeup complexion look, but focus on the bright eyes. I have wild hair today too. I just kind of setting the mood for hot summer vibes. Okay. If you don't know what Baja Blast is, it's Mountain Dew, but a different flavor that you can get at Taco Bell. They probably sell it other places. I don't eat Taco Bell that much, but sometimes it's the only place that's open after 10 p.m. and that's what I did last night, and I saved it in my fridge for today. It's a lot of sugar. It's an interesting flavor. Let's get into complexion. I'm going to apply primer again because even though my face is kind of shiny, I feel like I need something or a refresher. My Victoria Beckham Augustinus Bader primer in original. How are you guys feeling about summer? Are you ready for it? I'm never ready for summer. I love the late nights. I love the daylight that goes up until 9 o'clock at certain parts of the summer. I love that. I love being able to go outside after work and do whatever and feel safer for long periods of hours. For several hours. It's super nice. I love long days. I'm not a morning person, so having that time in the evening is super fabulous for me. But I don't love the heat. So where I live, it gives above 100 degrees or close to it most days of the summer. It's not humid, it's dry. We don't get a lot of rain. It's an experience living here. I've actually lived here all my life. Well, not in the same place, but pretty much with this heat most of my life. And I never get used to it. But you do learn how to dress. So today I wore a dress to work, which I normally don't do. I did low-key makeup. My hair went up and down. I just didn't want to be super high maintenance with my look, knowing that I was gonna be hot. So I'm using the Typology Tinted Serum. It has a dropper. I'm going directly onto the skin. You don't have to do this, but if I do this, I don't have to clean out my glass palette. So I'm just gonna go directly on. And what I like about this tinted serum, I did a video review on this. If you haven't seen it, it was a while ago. It was last year, I believe, maybe last summer. I still have the same bottle. I really like this serum because I can apply it with my hands. And it's good for the skin. It's, you know, obviously very lightweight, very light coverage, but it does just enough for me to like it. It's not like zero coverage or anything like that. I would say the biggest thing with Typology is they don't have a lot of options for shades. So like it's not on my top of the list to like recommend to you guys because of that. And it is somewhat pricey. You know, Typology is, I believe, you just order it directly from France. So it's not like you can go try it, and it's not the cheapest brand either. So there's that. But I mean, this is a pretty neutral shade. I need more of a cool tone, to be honest, but because it's light coverage, you can get away with it not being an exact match if you're me, if you look like me. So I can get away with it, but it's not like ideal probably for most people to just buy something like this, blind buy it, and the color not really work out. They do, or at least they used to, you could buy one of these and get the other second shade to mix half off. So you wouldn't have to pay full price for two shades because they know that they're kind of limited on what they can offer. So they did, you know, buy one, get one half off. That was the case when I reviewed this product last year. Hopefully they are still doing that. I think my face is pilling, probably from my primer, so I feel a lot of texture right now. Okay, moving on to the Typology concealer. This is a light coverage concealer, even though it's thick. So I'm gonna take my finger, yeah. And then I'm gonna take a brush, one of my Sonia G Fusion brushes. This is the soft concealer brush. Yeah, I think this concealer is very yellow and neutral for me, so I don't use it a lot. It's also very creamy, so it's just a totally different texture than what I'm used to working with. Probably for a lot of you that normally use, you know, good coverage concealers, but it really matches the tinted serum, so I like, it's not a bad combination together. I didn't use a whole lot of the concealer. Like a little bit goes a long way in that respect, so there's pluses and minuses with this concealer. I think the biggest negative for me is it's too yellow tinted for my preferences. Alright, so I have this Vision Flush that I want to try. This is the Long Wear Multi-Purpose Liquid Pigment for your cheeks, eyes, and lips. This is a Danessa Myricks product, and apply a tiny amount to the eyes, lips, or cheeks and blend layer product to build up the color to taste. You can apply it using a finger, a brush, or enclosed applicator. So I didn't get an applicator, I don't think. If I did, I lost it. But here's the shades that we're working with. Looks like some eye shades and some cheek and our lip. So let's see. Ooh, these are very liquidy. These look like a thick lip gloss. You guys see that? Thick lip gloss up in here. Sorry, the sun is killing me. Maybe I'll just do some swatches for you guys. In this little sample card, these guys are messy. So this is Sweet Nectar. Whoa. Whoa. I feel like I'm playing with paint here. Ooh. That is orange. That feels like a lip gloss tutu. These are really thick swatches. I apologize. I believe this is ballet slippers, which I'm not really getting because that's a dark pink. Bread and butter. That's a pretty shade. Pretty sure that's bread and butter. Could be nutcracker. No, that's bread and butter. We have Tiara, which is the champagne. Ooh, I like that one the most. Then we have toasted almond, which is pretty chocolatey looking. These are fairly slick. I know I'm not in the best lighting right here. Can you guys see that? Alright, those were a little bit challenging to capture the swatches of, so I did my best to try to take a picture of my arm. This is it was very wet. These are like little lip glosses, but for all over the face. I'm not sure how these are going to dry down. I want to do a little bit on the cheeks. So I'm going to use bread and butter, which I think is probably, maybe I'll mix. But bread and butter and tutu, which is like a brownie pink and a really bright pink. I'm just going to put this on the back of my hand. Do a little mixing with tutu. So you guys can see that. Huh. I don't know if I like that color. Maybe I'll just use tutu. Let's try that. These literally feel like, I don't know, gel water paints. Watercolor gel, very slick. Okay, that's a lot. Let's try a brush. This is the Sonia G. Classic base is the fusion brush. Okay. That is really pink. All right. Little goes a long way. I feel like that is the mantra for Danessa Myricks. Her products are highly pigmented. You don't need a lot. They're multi-purpose. Some of them are really innovative and different, feels like. Especially for a brand you can get at Sephora now. That is a bright pink. Okay. All right. Don't know if I love this. It's almost too pigmented when it comes to cream products, especially blushes. I don't like having, I'm a heavy hander when I apply, so if I have to use a very tiny amount, it doesn't work for me as well, because then like I have to really work hard to spread that tiny amount to make it look good. So yeah, interesting. Just first impressions, trying out this sample card. I kind of want to use this little champagne shade as a highlight. This is very creamy though. That's kind of pretty. Very glossy feeling. Very glossy feeling. Very shiny as well. That is an impactful cream highlight for sure. I could see maybe using this on the eyes instead. Maybe on the lips. No. Okay. It's highly pigmented. It is like an interesting texture to work with. Not sure about these. They might be a little bit melted. Who knows? But I'm probably not gonna run out and reach for them. Just based on that texture, it's a little bit much for me. Unless I'm, you know, going to use it fully as a lip gloss. It's a little bit too pigmented for me to use as a multi-use product, but especially on the cheeks. But I'm kind of liking it in the camera, the pink. A little scary for me to apply, a little less easy for me to apply than other products. Powder. So I'm using my Wayne Goss Weightless Powder. This is a white loose powder that you really have to be careful about over applying, in my opinion, because it can really dry you out. Even though I have combo skin, it can really just make me feel dusty. Even after several hours, it can kind of emphasize those dry patches. So really small amount with this powder. Don't need a lot. I'm gonna go in with my Guerlain Meteorites. I think this is like the classic one. It's clear, has like all the different colors. I just do a little bit of that. You can smell that violet scent. If you don't know about Guerlain Meteorites, these little balls are scented violet very strongly. Some people love it though. So that's it for the finishing powder. Let's get into this eye palette and doing some really fun shades. So Dragon Fruit palette, this is just so much fun. This video is like playtime for me to be able to use this palette. So I'm gonna focus on the lime green shades just because I've been wanting to do this video for a while with those shades. It's not something I'm gonna wear a lot. I admit this is not a practical shade combination, but it just looks like so much fun to me. So I'm going into Catacay. I think that's how you say it. It's this lime green shade here, all over the lid. Now this, of course, none of these are matte in this palette. This is a duochrome, multi-chrome, different finish palette. This one, I believe, is just shimmery, maybe a little bit of duochrome to it. It's just more about that punchy pop of color that I am craving to put on my eye. So that is Catacay. And I think you could definitely go bolder with a finger application, but I'm just gonna start here for now. Just with the brush, pretty basic. Just sweep it on the lid. Look how much fun that is. Oh, love it, love the color. Then I'm gonna take a smaller brush into Dragonfly, which is more of this like bright neon minty kind of a green. Just as a contrast. Then I'm gonna mimic the same kind of gradient of color underneath my eye, starting with Catacay and also ending with Dragonfly in the outer edge. So you guys can see how it's symmetrical, top and bottom, lid space. I don't know. I don't know how to describe the lid space under here, but it is a lid, just on a different side. All right, I don't know, I consider it a lid. The under eye matches the upper eye. I feel very punk. I love the neon green and I like the contrast for sure. I do feel like I need some like boring brown shade to kind of make this pop even more. I don't think I'm gonna find this in this palette, so I'll just continue on a little bit with some other shades from here just to make this pop. Effervescent is one of the big shades in here and it's pretty glittery, but it's like a peach highlighty shade. Let's see how this works in here. It's a little sparkle, not over the top. We're already pretty over the top with these colors. All right, how fun is that? My apartment is now 80 degrees, making progress. I redid my brows with the Tom Ford Fiber Brow Gel. I put on the Cosmetics brow gel before, brow cream. It didn't really hold up. Like the ends of my brows kind of faded off. Okay, I picked up the Hindash Monochromats to get my neutral shades to kind of offset all this. So I'm going to probably go into match, this darker match and made this guy over here and see what this does. I'm using a big fluffy brush, but going really soft and gentle. I can already see some areas that I want to go over with the Catty K shade, so we'll be going back to that palette. Don't you worry. I think it just sets it off, but also like lessens the edge a little bit by adding like a brown, which goes with green in nature, you know what I mean? I know it sounds silly, but green and brown. Green or brown makes green look a little less out of place. This is what this is teaching me. Like green looks weird on my face, but next to brown, maybe not as weird. So this is way above my crease, so I'm like really extending my eyes out here, but I'm okay with making my eyes look hopefully larger. So added back in some brown there. I don't know if that looks better. I think it hopefully does. I'm gonna do the same thing under the eye. So I don't know if you guys noticed these brushes. These are from the Clionadah Dragon Fruit collection. They are synthetic. These definitely pick up the pin dash a little different. So I'm gonna go back to my natural brush here and see if that helps pick up a little more color. Yeah, I think so. All right, here we are. All right, so we're going back into Dragon Fruit to touch up a little bit of this green. So Catty K on the finger. Just a little bit that I missed along the, there we go. That is much brighter. I don't want any lid space like kind of looking skimpy with these colors. So that's a little bit better. It's just a lot more obvious when, not patchy, just I skipped concentration a little bit. So that is the look I kind of wanted. It's a lot, I know, it's a lot for my channel. Sometimes I do more interesting looks, I'll say. Not the most wearable, but the most interesting. More interesting to me, or more fun, more party, not everyday looks. Those are fun. So I don't even think I need eyeliner, but I'm gonna put some on because I think it might look better. I'm gonna use a black liquid liner. I do have a Danessa Myricks Multichrome. It's the amethyst shade, and it's a little bit, it's a purple that like shifts to green, but it's a little bit, I think not dark enough for this, and not quite as bright as it, or deep as I want to go. So I'm gonna try the Surratt, I don't know what this is called, liquid liner. Adds like a refill to it. There's the refill. It's kind of hard to open. You just have to, there we go. Here is the Surratt liquid liner in black. Now it's probably not going to be symmetrical. Oh boy, I cannot do this. So definitely not symmetrical. I really like this eyeliner for a liquid. It gives you a lot of control. All right, so I'm gonna finish off this look off camera. I'm gonna do a little more mascara, finish the lips, and I will take some photos and be back. Hey guys like this lighting? Alright, so this is the final look. I'm really happy with it. I love this for summer. I wish I was doing something today because I would totally just go out with this eyeshadow look right now. It's intense, but I love green. I love neon. I think it's so much fun, and I am happy with that brown neutral shade I added above it. It wasn't necessary, but I do think it makes it a little more, I don't know, a wearable and more approachable look. Like, you don't have to like be afraid to talk to me because I'm wearing green eyeshadow. I know that sounds really stupid, but sometimes when you add like a boring color to a crazy color, it makes it more everyday. I don't know, maybe it doesn't. Maybe this year, like, I'm not even watching this video for the eyeshadow, but if you stuck around and you do like to do colors sometimes, I always think contrasting with a boring neutral shade makes everything better. I use the Jones Road mascara, one of my favorites lately, in black. I use the Charlotte Tilbury Pillow Talk lip liner, and I used a gloss from Revolution. This is one of those drugstore brands that is available at Target and Ulta and all that. This is the Pout Balm Plumping Gloss with vitamin E. This is the shade Kiss. It's a very pink neutral shade. I probably could have done without a gloss and just done a matte lipstick just because there's so much shine on the eyes, but I like to have a hydrated lip in the summer. I like a glossy lip for the summer for sure. This is really minty. I don't know that it makes my lips look bigger, but it makes them feel bigger. This is just okay, but I wanted to use the color because I like the color of it. I actually like the bright cheek with the green eyeshadow, the bright pink from the Vision Flesh. So this was Tutu. And even though it was really scary going on even in, you know, in pictures, on camera, it looks pretty good. Very scary to apply. I don't love the texture of it, but it looks amazing on the skin. So even though I said I wouldn't buy it, I don't know. If I ever do a Danessa Myricks haul, I might pick one of them up. Because that shade, I mean, I could put on the lips and cheeks for sure. It looks decent on the cheeks. It just, a little bit goes a long way, so I wouldn't need much of it. But yeah, overall, I like, you know, sometimes you feel like doing a full-on bright eyeshadow, you have to do full coverage, everything else to kind of meet that glam or that high-impact shade. But I actually like a low-maintenance, light coverage face with this. I feel like the eyes are all the attention, so the skin doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be blanked out. Like, you can still see my texture. You can still see some blemishes and redness. And it's fine. It's fine. I don't have to be full coverage because summer and full coverage are for special occasions, not for every day. And this I probably would just wear, I mean, not every day, somewhere special, but probably not to a special occasion place. So maybe like dinner or drinks or something, but not like a dress up kind of a thing where I would want like skin that, a complexion that's breathable, that I can go out in the weather and be fine and not feel like I'm gonna melt off. So I like summer skin that's lightweight but a bright eye. That's always fun. This complexion may need a stronger powder though, because when I was taking pictures I started to get really shiny. So even though I did light-handed on the Wayne Goss, I actually needed more for the sake of taking pictures. But if you're not taking pictures and you're just living life, just bring some powder to go with you. Just depends on the weather for where you're at in the summer. Like, you know, there's a lot of factors with that, but I definitely like to take a powder with me to go. Anyway, what are your guys' thoughts on summer makeup? Do you like to go bright? Do you like to go minimal, super minimal, no makeup because you're sweating your butt off? I know today I felt like I wanted to shave off my hair. I keep putting it up. It's like, why do I have long hair, you know? I mean, I like the look of my hair, but it's annoying to me, especially when I'm hot and I'm stressed out. Cannot have it touching me. All right, guys, that is it for my summer look using green eyeshadow. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments below. What are you looking forward to this summer? Do you guys have any plans? Do you have any makeup looks that you plan on doing at some point? Are there any color inspirations that you're digging right now? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, click the thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.